Hello and welcome to That Man. That is me merchandise, and today we are looking at Farce. Now, this is a series that I covered very briefly a few months ago when they announced the anime, and almost immediately someone came on and said, read the manga, read the manga, read the manga, read the manga, read the manga. And I was like, well, I did originally read this manga when it first came out. It is by the same creator of Soul Eater, a series that I kind of enjoyed when I first watched it. It was one of those series where I enjoyed it. It was like, I think it was like 40 or 50 episodes or something, and I bought it because it was pretty cheap. And I enjoyed it, but I remember enjoying it then. It got to a point and I was just so bored of it. And I was just like, yeah, at the end of the day, I do have some issues with Soul Eater towards the end. I did overall like it, and I thought, well, if I start this off, I'll try it. And I tried it when it first came out, and I was just like, this is the most generic shonen I have ever read. There is nothing outstanding for it. The main character looks like a cross between Natsu or Rin from Blue Exorcist, or even the characters from Soul Eater, because he's got black hair and that cheeky grin. Yeah, you know the one in almost every single anime shonen. And I read a few chapters and I was just like, no, this is doing absolutely nothing for me. I'll not bother. However, I thought, it's been a while, I'll try it again, and I picked it up. Kodansha, I believe, was having a sale towards the end of Christmas last year, and I think they had a load of volume ones for like $1.99, so I was like, yeah, I'll pick it up. And it's been on my tablet waiting to be read ever since. Over the past few weeks, I have seen it is getting a lot of buzz. It's getting a lot of hype and attention, and I was just like, well, everybody else is popular. I want to be popular too. So I read volume 1, and it's still quite possibly the most generic shonen I've read in a long time. That's not to say it's bad. I kind of read it and I was just like, well, there's nothing doing anything amazing for me at the moment. And yeah, it was volume 1. I think it was only like 3 or 4 chapters in volume 1. But I wasn't put off by it. I did feel, I was like, well, I'm not loving it, but I will buy volume 2 and onwards when we get another Kodansha sale, which includes it. If you're listening, Kodansha, put it on. In hindsight, I kind of wish I picked it up when they were having that big, massive Humble Bundle sale. But it was one of those series where I was like, yeah, I want it, but I can't justify paying it, and from what I've gathered, it's a right hassle to read some of the stuff on that Humble Bundle sale. So I was like, I'll just get it when I can. So, Farce tells the story of the young protagonist in a world where fire is evil. Fire is always evil. But this is a world where fire, it's weird. Fire can possess people. The demons are fire. And there is a special fire brigade. This is otherwise known as Farce, otherwise known as Fire Brigade of Flames. And yeah, it's a fire brigade that fights fire using fire. Or they use swords. Or they use guns. I'm not kidding, there is legit one of the main cast uses a gun as a weapon against fire. Wrap that round your head for a minute. Yeah, it's one of those series where it's just kind of like, I don't know, they kind of wrote it in and then it was just like, they were just like, well, can you use a gun against fire? Of course you can. I've just got this image, it's just like, I've got the gun. So why are you using a gun against fire? Guns destroy everything else, so I must defeat fire. Yeah, it's weird. There's legit in one of the first things that someone's grabbing a fire extinguisher and they just go, no, that won't work. Don't worry, that will not work. And it's like, we will use fire against the fire. And I was like, yeah, I'm just sitting there like, Fireman Sam lied to me, I suppose. And it's weird. It tells the story of this guy with a cheeky grin, which isn't cheeky. He has that same grin that all of the protagonists have because he's nervous. Yeah, and he's out for a quest of revenge because some mysterious fire demon killed his family, but they all thought it was him. When have we heard that story before? And he uses the fire on his feet because he fights fire with fire, and he uses the fire from his feet to skywalk. They didn't read One Piece at all. It is totally unique. And this is my problem with it. There's all these ideas, all these things, and it's not kind of working for me. And it's all these things I was just like, yeah, you've clearly read that, you've read that. And it's like, because it's like the whole absurdity of fighting fire with fire, and I was just kind of like, the most enjoyable parts for me was like, yeah, why would you not use a fire extinguisher? Fireman Sam would have a fit. But I mean, again, another thing that they start off, they've like 3 chapters in, they've already thrown a tournament arc at us, and I'm like, oh great. It's like, you want me to buy volume 2, but it's a tournament arc. I know that's the easiest way to get all of your characters involved, to introduce a massive amount of characters, a tournament arc. But yeah, so people are not going to like me because I'm like kind of like, well, there's nothing special. I am going to give it the benefit of the doubt. Everyone I've said, it kind of starts off generic and then it goes through its own thing and becomes amazing. Brilliant. This is a review looking at volume 1. I can't judge the rest of the series based on what I've seen. From what I've seen from volume 1, to be honest, if people weren't going on and on about it, I would have picked volume 1 up and I would have just went, I've got no inclination to read any more of this. Some of the characters are fine. I really like the girls in it. The characters' designs are fun. Except the main guy. Again, he's got a face, I just want to just be sitting there going, pfft. Yeah, fair enough, he's got a reason, and say because I hate that grin. As soon as I see that grin on a character like Natsu or Rin, I can't stand that grin. That says to me, it's like you've made no effort with this character. It looks like every other shonen protagonist with that grin. And that really is a barrier for me now. Why would I want if I see that grin on the main character, why would I assume this is going to be different to Blue Exorcist or Fairy Tail or the other one, Hell Wars and Higuma, that's running in Shonen Jump, which it started off really well, but now it's kind of, and I'm kind of like, I need more than this. I need more than just a grin. And it's like, yeah, they kind of explain, well, he's nervous or he has this grin and people make him think that he's a devil. And I'm just like, yeah. And people are like, oh, well, he's one of the best protagonists now. And I'm like, fair enough, but all I'm going off is volume 1. I will cover more of this in the future. I'm very hopeful that this becomes something a little bit more than what it is. But right now, there is this massive barrier and I'm just sitting there going, is this it? Is this all we are getting from this series? Because I am really not hooked by it. Kodansha, if you listen, put the rest on sale so I can I'll buy volume 2, 3 and 4 or something like that if you put it on for $3.99. This is the thing. Stuff like this I read on Comixology, and yeah, people are like, well, you can just get it all for free, but this was, I think volume 1 was $1.99, and at the moment, like I said, Kodansha puts them on the $3.99 each, and it's like, I can afford to put down £8 for 2 volumes just to try stuff out, fair enough. But yeah, it's just really, I don't know, it's one of those things, because I said, like I said, it was that absurd. I was reading, I was just like, what on earth are they trying to do? It just threw me off, and like I said, for me, throwing a tournament arc 3 chapters into the series, that says to me, generic. Nothing with Fire Force so far has stood out to me. It is not jumping out and saying, well, we've got all of this unique stuff. It's just another kind of battle manga which we've seen time and time and time again. I'm hopeful that it's going to get better, and I'm going off everybody else. The same people who were excited for Fire Force are the same people who were excited for Black Clover, and I read that and I loved it. Again, that one was another one where it kind of started off but then it went to its own thing, and I'm expecting the same from this. But because I've only read Volume 1, I'm doing a review on Volume 1. If you love Fire Force, let me know around what time it gets really good. I'm more than happy to read more, and I certainly will, but that's it from me. If you like this, please leave a like, please subscribe, let me know in the comments, what do you think about Fire Force, or do you call it Fire Farce? And if you like that, check out some of my other stuff. Like I said, we've got plenty more manga, plenty more Monster Girl stuff, because yeah, firefighters mean Monster Girls, of course. And yeah, I'll see you next time. Thank you for coming, and thanks again for staying. Goodbye.